The idea for this deck came to me because I recently built a Boros beatdown deck and included Treasure Napper to fill out the early curve. And then I nabbed 3 Soul Rings. I hadn't included Soul Rings in any of my lower tier decks for years. I kind of forgot just how absurdly broken it is, and playing with it made me aware of that again. So I hatched a bit of a plan. I still don't want to play with Soul Ring. I don't think the card is appropriate for Bracket 2 or even Bracket 3 games. I refuse to include it in any of my decks. But if somebody else is playing it, I don't see any problem with taking theirs. The concept is really quite simple. We're playing Breaches the Blastmaker. Breaches the Blastmaker is an Izzet 3-mana 3/3 with Menace. Whenever we cast our second spell each turn, Breaches lets us sacrifice an artifact to flip a coin. If we win the flip, we get to copy the spell. If we lose it, then we deal damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. So, we cast a card like Hijack as our first spell for the turn, which lets us steal a Soul Ring until end of turn. Then we cast literally anything else using the Soul Ring because it gets untapped, and then sacrifice the stolen Soul Ring into Breaches to get our coin flip. Alternatively, of course, we can use more permanent theft cards like Thieving Skydiver or Yuffie, Materia Hunter, to snatch Soul Ring and get to use it for ourselves for the rest of the game, or, in case of Yuffie's case, until Yuffie disappears, but you get the idea. The deck also includes Fada Adele, Acquisitor, a mono-blue merfolk that, when she deals combat damage to a player, lets us search through that player's library and exile an artifact for us to play. There's definitely an argument to be made that she would be the better commander for this deck, as she very precisely targets out Soul Rings. But she can't steal them anymore if somebody casts one before we get to hit them with her. She doesn't work against that crucial turn 1 Soul Ring. And I think that's a huge problem, and unfortunately rules her out as a commander. On top of that, while blue has access to some theft cards, I think being monocolored here makes things very clunky. Izzet is just the right call. Red gives us a much wider range of possible thieving cards that are just good fun. For example, Pious Wipe Hawk is a 5-mana 4/4 with flying and haste. Whenever it attacks, it gets power equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts we control. And whenever we spend the 6th mana on our turn, we get to steal an artifact for as long as we control the Hawk. This is a great beater that gets to snatch stuff multiple times. Or Hellkite Tyrant, a 6-mana 6/5 dragon that only has to hit somebody once to permanently steal all of their artifacts. We are of course also playing blue cards that steal stuff, like Acquire, Blatant Thievery, and Agent of Treachery. I should mention though, since Agent of Treachery can be a polarizing card, there's no flicker in this deck, so we can copy him once and then steal 2 things at most if we manage to get lucky on our coin flip. Now, you might notice that these are quite expensive spells, and that's because those synergize well with Breaches. We either get to duplicate something big, or we throw a ton of damage around. Either result is good. This deck puts emphasis on big mana spells. This includes just spending a lot of mana, but also cards like Treasure Cruise or Dig Through Time that let us cheat on the mana cost. To both get enough mana for these cards and also fill up our graveyard, we play the usual gang: Big Score, Seize the Spoils, and Inspired Tinkering. These cards also create treasures that we can sacrifice into Breaches and are fantastic when copied. The funny thing about stealing Soul Ring is that the card is overpowered, and so we don't necessarily want to sacrifice it and would rather use it ourselves. Unless of course we would have to return it at the end of turn. It's just good to have some extra fodder, which is why we also have a couple of eggs in the deck. These fulfill double duty, as they are artifacts to sacrifice and they are cheap spells to cast as our first spell for the turn, leaving us with plenty of mana for a big second spell to duplicate, or throw. To help with that, we also got a couple of cantrips and some other value artifacts like Echo Wellspring, Priced Statue, and Cryogen Relic that help both when they enter and when they get sacrificed. Then a bunch of the usual criminals: looters, regalias, some mana rocks, a bit of blasphemy. We don't play much removal in the deck because Breaches can fill that role. Not reliably, of course, but that's part of the fun. When building these kinds of decks centered around ideas with clear limitations like the unpredictability of a coin flip, I consider that to be part of the identity of the deck, not something that needs to be fixed. So I didn't include Crack's Thumb, which would allow us to reflip underside results, or any other card that would help in that way. But Tavern Scoundrel is in the deck, which just rewards us for winning the flip. One final note then before we get to some gameplay. This is not really super related to the deck, but anyways. Recently, somebody in the comments wondered why most of my deck tech videos are centered around more or less competitive games, while in the essays I preach for a casual environment that isn't centered around winning. There are a couple of reasons for that, mostly the practicality of it. I can't really record proper social games because that would require other people to be part of the video, and I just don't really have the setup or environment for that. It's also very difficult to organize people online. Trust me, I tried. The vast majority of the games I play in real life are social games. I play locally multiple times a week, and pretty much all of those are very casual bracket 2 games. But if I'm recording on MTGO, that doesn't really work out as nicely, because there just isn't a way to have a pre-game discussion. There's no feature that allows that, and the only avenue for communication is a very limited chat. The chat also gets censored very easily, which I think is silly. Like LMAO is censored. I don't know why that's censored, probably because it has ass in the text, but I mean, come on. Anyways, so I tend to play in the higher brackets on MTGO because those factors aren't as important, not the LMAO thing, the communication thing. However, despite these reasons, I actually agree with that comment. I should build more casual decks. So here is one. It's around 60 euro, mostly because Fada is very expensive. You do not have to include her in the deck. She's just 10 bucks. It felt frustrating to have to cut 10 bucks just to include her. So what I recommend is if you want to play this deck, then just cut Fada. This deck is a ton of fun to play, because while the explicit goal is to steal soul rings, and that's very funny by itself, many of the pieces can be used for all kinds of other shenanigans as well. If you're interested in the deck list, you can find it on my Patreon. By supporting me there, you get this deck list and all the other ones I have created before. Oh, and if you enjoyed the video so far, please give it a thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate that. Alright, with everything out of the way, it's time to get into some gameplay. Whew, what is this hand? This is very curious. It's got a lot of card draws, a lot of treasure generation. We can play it kind of slowly. Yargel and Multani, Rashmi and Ragavan and Stank, Echo Warrior. We'll keep it. This is a risky keep. It was absolutely a risky keep. We got ourselves a land, so that's perfect. Then we're in a totally fantastic position. Ooh, I really want to cast this Malcolm. So I'm gonna hold off on this Felwa Stone. Good old Malcolm, just a looter, but turn 2 Malcolm is always very nice because it represents a bit of a threat if it stays on the board for too long. We're just gonna go in there and get a hit in. Malcolm trigger, confiscation coup. I mean, I could steal this guy. Oh, that feels kind of mean. I also don't think it's actually all that good right now, so I'm just gonna discard this. And I'm gonna preordain here. Facebreaker is fantastic, Island is fantastic. You know what? I am actually happy to keep both. Oh, Azusa. Well, that's a problem. Enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, target creature can't block this turn. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has haste. Azusa has a frog tongue as well now. Beat down Azusa, I suppose. Okay, let's cast ourselves a professional Facebreaker. We get a hit in. We make a treasure. We get to loot. I mean, we probably just loot away whatever we draw. Unless it's very good. Oh my god, it's Acquire. Yeah, that is very good. I mean, I gotta. That's the whole point. I have to keep Acquire. Alright, so that's... Oh, it's not Stang. Is that just a Azusa beatdown? Is that the goal? Like, what's going on? And there's Rashmi and Ragavan. Alright, let's go into combat first. Just a little bit of damage. Rent's Resolve can go. We've got better card draw in hand. Then we cast Breaches the Blastmaker. That's our first spell for the turn. And now we can cast our second spell, being Acquire. Now who's got... I mean, it's gotta be this guy, right? We'll acquire this. And then I would like to sacrifice a treasure. And then hits! Yes! We won the flip. Fantastic. So we get to acquire a second time. We'll acquire from this player. And then let's have a look. God damn it, they're not playing Soul Ring. I respect it. thank you. Thank you for your service. You're doing a great job. But also, god damn it. That's the whole point. I guess flying could be useful. Let's get this. And then acquire something else. And there it is, my friends. We got it. And we can immediately use it to give breaches flying and haste. Okay, that's a lot more damage than what I got. I ain't blocking shit. Feel free to kill me. There's Yargle and Multani. Gets the Hero's Blade immediately. I've heard much about you from my daughter, Multani rumbled. There was a time when I'd balk at your aid, Phantom, but she has shown me the merit in Urborg's strange ways. Replied Yargle. Huh? That sure is a card, I guess. Yeah. I'm a little surprised we're taking down Sticky Fingers rather than Tanuki Transplante or even the Hero's Blade, but I guess we're taking down Sticky Fingers. Let's go. You come here. You go here. You go here. I mean, I have these Fleet Feather Sandals, so Breaches is flying. And Menace. Okay, Malcolm. Alright, buddy. Hit something good. What are we drawing? Come on. It's a mountain. You know what? I actually don't mind it. Let's pitch the big score. And then I would like to cast it. And I would like to discard this talisman. I'm casting the big score first because I actually want to rather duplicate Inspired Tinkering if I can. Or throw 5 damage. Either way, I want the Malcolm trigger on the Inspired. Aminatus Augury! Alright, we need to sacrifice something. I think I'm gonna get rid of the sandals. Alright, come on. Heads or tails? Heads! Yes! We won! Okay, oh god, that's gonna be a lot of money, my friends. Here are our spells that we may cast. And here's our second set of spells we may cast. Dig Through Time is an instant. Let's maybe start with that. So I guess I just get the Fort Monitor and the land. Alright, let's cast the Fort Monitor for just 1 mana while we can. Scampering and Consider. Let's cast the Agent. We know we're definitely playing that. I could take the Azusa. I think I'm taking the Azusa. But look at how many land drops I have right now. This is definitely not the right call, but I'm doing it anyways. Then we play this bird. So let's maybe just ponder. Think about things for a moment, right? Nah, we can do better. Blatant Thievery. Fuck it. Let's just grab Yargle. Let's grab Stang. let's grab this land. Oh, this feels like maybe we took it a little far. That's it. I'm just casting this. No, Yargle, come back. No, the entire thing fizzled now. Oh man. Well, the good news is at least I don't need to worry about Yargle anymore. Hey. My Fort Monitor, I need that. So yeah, I'm getting attacked by everything. I mean, I can just block with this guy, but they're gonna have Giga Trample. Alright, so that's getting flipped. Yep, that makes sense. I'm gonna block this one, because I get to keep one of my creatures around. And then I'm just gonna take 16 and hope that this fella over there can't one-shot me from that. I think it's important to keep up a blocker here. Oh shit! Whisper Silk Cloak. Alright, forget about everything I said. Maybe I should have just taken 1 point less damage. Body Double. No. Wait, hold on. I just realized I have an Agent of Treachery in my graveyard. Yeah, well, I can't do anything about that. That's just gonna happen. What are we taking? Yeah, no, that's actually fair. No, the Facebreaker is a great target. Absolutely. All right, so we get hit by Rashmi. Go down to 6. Yeah, you know what? Let's just forecast. Ignite the Future. All right, we're using Inspired Tinkering for our duplication here. Let's hope this hits something. All right. I want to... The Whisper Silk Cloak! Yes! Give it! I need the mana this turn. I think I'm just... It's time to say goodbye to the Soul Ring. Alright, always say heads. Always say heads. I won! Let's go! Scroll of Isildur. Hellkite Tyrant. Do I have a way to give this guy haste? I had earlier. Fuck. Okay, good news, everybody. We have a free land drops because we control Azusa. So we are actually totally fine. Wait, why don't I have this? Oh no, I do have it. It's just still equipped to rush me. Okay, so I need to equip this to something else. Malcolm Trigger. Let's draw a card. Let's play Ignite the Future first. We can still cast this. Does that mean I'm casting it from my graveyard? Oh my god. I think it does. Yeah, I get to free spell this. Oh man. I'm drawing exclusively lands. Let's Ignite the Future again. Alright, there's a Regalia. Let's play the Regalia. I need to play Opportunistic Dragon. This is actually very important because otherwise I'm pretty sure I just die. I think this is actually crucial. So I gotta go ahead and grab myself Stang. But I need to re-equip this. And now I don't think I have enough mana for the Hellkite Tyrant. So let's put the Thieving Skydiver on the board. Grab ourselves. Yeah, let's grab this little land here. Why not? And I think that's my turn. Pest Infestation. No, my Regalia. Oh man, that's more emotional damage than anything. Yeah, the Skull Clamp does still belong to that player. So they can still continue Skull Clamping their stuff. I could have stolen it, but I thought it was funnier to take the land. That's ultimately the crux of my decision making. Oh, Toski. Toski is a good card. We survived that turn. We did it. Strionic Resonator. What are you taking from me? Lonely Sandbar? Why, I assume that's not what you were hoping for. Vigor. Okay, well that's not ideal. Ooh, now I can just be attacked, right? I can't really block in a way that feels good. Okay, just 2 attackers. Well, we can block this. I honestly just can't afford to take any more damage. Alright, we are still in this. Alright, let's play the Scroll of Isildur. This time around, we gotta lose that flip. Because that's 6 damage. Alright, so we'll put Breaches on the stack first. And then I'll grab myself this... this land. Yeah, I'm grabbing the Skull Clamp. Sacrifice the Chromatic Star. Choose heads or tails. Heads. I lost the flip. Oh my god. I am actually so good at this game. I can now copy this as well. So I will make this first one. Oh shit, these guys are so huge now. They're so big. Alright, the first one shoots this guy. Copy it. Shoot Vigor. Alright, Vigor is gone. I guess we're just poking the Agent of Treachery for a little bit of damage. It doesn't really do anything, but we got it, okay? It's out of here. Let's just go into combat. We get, I think, +2/+0? No, we still have the Whisper Silk Cloak, +3/+0. Malcolm Trigger. This is not what I'm looking for. I will play the Scampering Surveyor because it is a creature on the board. That's it. That's the center. It's just a guy, okay? I need a guy. I need a guy. Oh my god, I only have 29 cards left in my deck. We've played a lot of our deck. You know what? Let's just draw another card. Moonsilver Key. We're getting the worst possible cards. These do nothing. Is there any artifact I can still take? Yes. I can Master Thief the Great Furnace. I guess I'm playing MLD. Genesis Wave for 9. We might be dead. Okay. Chainsaw deals damage to something. You can enchant some creatures. You get to draw a lot of cards. That's pretty nice. As far as Genesis Waves is concerned, I think this worked out pretty nicely. Okay, Rashmi left. Rashmi had enough. Does that mean I lose anything that I care about? I lost some lands. Oh no, I lost some lands. Oh, I got my Facebreaker back though, and it's huge. So I guess that's something. Why did you get Stang back? Oh right, because my dragon died. Oh no. That's not good. Do I have enough blockers? That's these 2 I need to block. I think they're gonna be too big. Do I risk my Hellkite Tyrant is the bigger question. I think I do. So it seems I need to give up on my Azusa here. Yep, you get to draw another 3 cards. Guys, I think I'm losing this. Okay, no, we are making it into our turn. So we have a shot. So I stun these 2. This is actually not impossible, is it? Oh, they gave up. Oh my god, we got him. That's crazy. I think we had it though. I don't have the exact math in my head right now, but the Hawk was gonna deal like 10-ish damage, right? The Professional Facebreaker was 8, the Dragon was 6, and then I can steal one of their creatures, and then either deal another 3 or take the Chainsaw, which is another 4. I'm pretty sure we had it, because we also had some other creatures on the board. But it definitely would have been close. I was down to the minimal of HP, and I did need to finish in this particular turn. But hey, I mean, that was pretty crazy. That was a fun game, though. I like this deck. It's kind of a little bit mean because we steal our opponent's stuff. But, whatever. Personally, I prefer this kind of stealing where it's on the board, rather than the kind where you're like, oh, I will take the top card of your library face down. I always think that's a little bit annoying, because then I got a giant pile of cards, which are everybody's cards, like, kind of mixed together, and they don't use them for the entire game. I'm taking your stuff that's on the board, I'm gonna use it. I don't know, I feel like that's better. Anyways, I think this was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. I know we didn't steal that many soul rings, but that's all right. We did steal one. One of the players was very honorable and didn't play soul ring. And aside from that, we definitely got to steal a lot of artifacts, which could have been soul rings if, you know, anybody had one. So anyways. And yeah, if you want the deck list, you can find it on my Patreon. There's a link down in the description. As always, I appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.